Will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, council, mayor, city treasurer, deputy clerk, and audience. This is the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting for Monday, February 5th, 2018. At this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo,
Here.
Councilman Barton,
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe,
Here.
Councilwoman Talley,
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
And Councilwoman Webb is not present this evening.
Excused.
With that, Mr. Chair, we have a quorum this evening.
Thank you.
Our council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. Number 3, petitioner. Number 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6A, clerk's report. 6B, treasurer's report. 7, public comment. 8, unfinished business. 9, new business. 10, communication. And number 11 is adjournment, and a motion in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved.
Support.
It's been a motion by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Agenda item 2A for approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting held January 22nd, 2018.
So move for January 22nd, 2018.
Support.
The motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes of my special meeting held January 22nd, 2018. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Abstain.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
Agenda item 2B for approval are the minutes from the special meeting held. This was an open study session on Monday, January 22nd, 2018. And the discussion was the proposed changes to the sidewalk maintenance ordinance.
So moved for approval of minutes from the special meeting held January 22nd, 2018. Support.
The motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley. Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Roscoe.
Abstain.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved.
There are no petitioners this evening. Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This evening at 6:15, we had a closed session with attorney opinion. At 7 o'clock, we had an open study session, and this was involved in the 34th District Court construction and approval process. I'd like to read something. This person didn't want a resolution or anything, I think it's very important to recognize people in the community. Corey Chandler is the son of Shelton and Gloria Chandler, recently retired from the Garden City Fire Department after 25 years of service. Corey Chandler is a lifetime resident of Romulus, and at the age of 18, he served as a volunteer firefighter with the City of Romulus Fire Department. I just want to say to everybody, we'd like to congratulate Corey Chandler on his retirement. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
If
Mr.
I could, I grew up with, not just a Chandler fan, but Corey, great young man. I can't believe the time flew by like that, but I did see that as well, that he's retiring. Very well deserved. Now he can spend time with his family and so forth, but even particularly when he was a volunteer here in our city. And, you know, that's near and dear to my heart, that I had family members that did the same. And what he did for the city of Garden City for those years, I know they will much appreciate as well, too. So congratulations, Corey, and thank you.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Well, two things now. Sheldon and Gloria should be very proud of him. On a second thing, St. Aloysius, this coming Friday night, February the 9th, is having their Banquet Royale, which is one of their biggest fundraisers of the year. It's going to be held at St. Stephen's. It begins at 6:30. The tickets are $150 a piece, but you can win up to $5,000. It's an open buffet, open bar, and if anybody's interested in tickets, contact me or contact Cindy at the rectory. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wadsworth. That concludes the chairperson's report.
Chair, I'll ask for a motion to accept your report.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, to accept the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Good evening, City Council, Treasurer, Clerk, Deputy Clerk, and audience. Quote I brought tonight comes from President Dwight D. Eisenhower, and it goes as this: "A people that value its privileges above its principles soon lose both." And no statement on it, just think about it. It's still very true today. I think we do have a lot of events, and we have a video clip, if I'm correct, so we run that. And then I have one other item before we get into the action items.
Good evening. Here are some events coming up. February is Black History Month, and there are a number of events scheduled. On Tuesday, February the 6th, is the annual Come Unity Soul Food Dinner at the Romulus High Cafeteria. Dinner will be served at 5 p.m. Program will start at 6. There's no charge, but a free will donation will be appreciated. The annual Black History Bus Tour will be held on Saturday the 17th. The tour will begin at 10:20 a.m. from City Hall. There is no charge for the tour. It is suggested, though, that you RSVP at City Hall. Miss Rosie Black History program will be held at the library on Thursday, February 22nd. Other great events this month of February are on Saturday the 10th will be Curling Royale fundraiser. The event, which starts at 12 noon, will be held at Marianne Banks Park at 5 Points. Proceeds go to the FCCLA. Donation is $10. The Romulus Drug Task Force will hold a bowling fundraiser on Saturday the 17th at Romulus Lanes. It'll be $20 per person. Registration will start at 3, bowling at 3:30. To find out more about all of our community events, go to the locations noted on your screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. One last item what I wanted to get into, and this kind of ties right into February being Black History Month. Last month on the 13th at the Romulus Athletic Center, the 13th Congressional District had their host meeting, and we were privileged to have the group be in Romulus. And there were some awards that were given out, and they have what's called the Vanguard Award, a very prestigious award. And there were 4 awards given out. And what I'd like to do tonight, with the assistance of Councilwoman Williams, because she was there and with the host committee that set this up, is we have some photos of the recipients getting their awards that I thought would be nice to give to the families. So if we could, the first award was Miss Bird, had a recognition of the Vanguard Award, Marie Butler, Claire Williams, and Celeste Warren. If they're there, could we please have them come up, and just a little gift, which is their photo of them getting their award, and then we'll get back to my regular report, Mr. Chairman, if that's okay.
Sure.
Ms. Williams?
Sure, Mr. Council.
Oh, let's go. They want us. I do. I'm worried sick. I gotta get going as soon as this meeting's over.
I think we had a request, Mr. Chairman, for a couple comments, if that's okay. If your council would allow that, and then we'll get into my action items.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's Dorothy Bird, and my address is 6299 Hunt Street. I just wanted to come in and thank the mayor. We thought, he came on the 13th of January. He came and presented us with a beautiful certificate, and I was shocked. So we thought that we would like to come in and thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your concern about us down in the other end of town.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate all of you, because Miss Williams was there, and Mayor Pro Tem.
He was there on his birthday. Do you believe
Oh,
that?
I sure was. It was.
Yes, so
Stacy
we
was
just
there.
want to thank you that you thought enough of us to come, because it was a grand occasion, and we'll be coming back and sitting in the meeting.
Well, thank you. We appreciate all that you do, and congratulations again. Thank you. Thank you, City Council, for allowing that. I do have some action items tonight on my report. The first one up is 5A, and you recognize this one, but this is a request, a recommendation that came from Maria Lambert, CDBG Director, and there's a couple items we need on this to concur with the administration, and first rescind the resolution that you previously passed, which was 18-004. That was back on January the 3rd, 2018. And the reason for that is, as you recall then, we were going to do some things in a couple parks with CDBG money. We're still going to do the parks, but as you saw the attached memos, we're in dire need of a fire truck. We had one that did not pass the MDOT inspection that you see a memo from Kevin Kraus. And so we're going to work on getting a truck in here as soon as possible, and then we're going to use Wayne County park money for the park job. So we need to rescind that first item, and then the second will be to approve the amended, if we could.
So moved. To rescind resolution 18-004, which was approved on January 3rd.
I support that.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Mrs. Talley to rescind. Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes?
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And then the second would be to a new resolution that would be approving the final CDBG projects, including the $113,298 for the first payment of a new fire truck. There was a revised memo that had a correction to the amount with the programming that's still going to stay here at the Senior Center and Chore Services.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair, to adopt the new resolution approving the final CDBG projects to include $113,298 for the first payment of the new fire truck.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe, and this is for the revised CDBG 2018-19 revised allocation request for the purchase of a fire truck. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. Next is item B, and that's just a request to authorize the renewal of our annual Downriver Community Conference membership dues for the City of Romulus. The amount is $4,750. Those funds have been verified and budgeted in the 17-18 general fund budget.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to renew our annual Downriver Community Conference membership dues.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for the Downriver Community Conference membership dues. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. The next item is a request that came through recommendation from Julie Waitoko, our Chief of Staff and Legal Counsel, and this is to concur with the administration, authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the attached professional service contract with Mr. Dave Gorgon to assist the city during the community service director's maternity leave for the communication and public relation needs of the city departments.
I'm so moved, Mr. Chairman.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, and this is for the professional services contract. Dave Gordon, Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. The next item is a request to concur with the administration and appoint Linda Choate to fill a vacancy of Tammy McGrain and to reappoint Sheldon Chandler to the Cemetery Board of Trustees, both terms to expire November 1st of 2022.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion to appoint Linda Choate to fill the vacancy and reappoint Sheldon Chandler to the Cemetery Board.
Support.
Just under discussion, Mr. Chairman, we will be doing a proclamation for Miss McGrain. And again, there you see the Chandler name coming up again, stepping forward, helping us in a big way. So thank you, Sheldon, for that. And thank you, Linda. You were involved in that before. Thank you for your willingness to serve.
Thank you. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. The next is a request to concur with the administration and approve the appointment of Melissa Crova to the Downtown Development Authority, the term to expire July 31st of 2019.
So moved to appoint Elizabeth Crowell to the Downtown Development Authority.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Tally, and this is to concur with the administration and approve the appointment of Melissa Crover to the Downtown Development Authority with a term to expire July 31st, 2019. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. The last action item is a request that came through a recommendation from Lynn Conway, Purchasing Director, and Captain Darren Shelby from PD. And this is to concur with the administration, award bid ITB 17/18-10. This is to the only bidder, TriTech Forensics, for the acquisition of a universal forensic extraction device for the City of Romulus Police Department. The amount's $10,400, and these funds have been verified and budgeted and are available out of the narcotic forfeiture state police capital outlay.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for ITB 17/18-10 for the Universal Forensic Extraction Device for the Romulus Police Department.
I support that.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Tally, for the ITB 17/18/10 Universal Forensic Extraction Device for the Romulus Police Department. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Tally?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. Last item is just for information only, so that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mayor.
6A is the clerk's report. Under 6A1, for second reading and final adoption, is an amendment to City Ordinance Chapter 52, Article 2, Section 52-27, streets, sidewalks, and other public places. This ordinance was introduced at the council meeting of January 22nd, 2018.
So move for second reading, final adoption of the amendment to the city ordinance, chapter 52, article 2, section 52 to 27, streets and sidewalks and other public places.
Support.
A motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for second reading, final adoption of amendment into City Ordinance Chapter 52, Articles 2, Section 52-27, streets, sidewalks, and other public places. Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A2 for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 1718-19, Court Building Construction Fund. This budget amendment was introduced at the council meeting of January 22nd, 2018.
So move for second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 17/18-19, Court Building Construction Fund. Support.
A motion by Mr. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, for second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 17/18-19, Court Building Construction Fund. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A3 for second reading and final adoption is Budget Amendment 1718-20, Court Building Debt Service Fund. This budget amendment was introduced at the council meeting of January 22nd, 2018.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for second reading, final adoption of Budget Amendment 17/18-20 for Court Building Debt Service Fund.
Support.
Motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 17/18-20, Court Building Debt Service Fund. Ms. Roscoe.
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Ms. Abdo.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
6A4 is a study session request. City Treasurer Stacy Page is requesting a study session for Monday, February 12, 2018 at 6:45 p.m., and this is to discuss the city quarterly financial report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for a study session request for Monday, February 12th, 2018 at 6:45 p.m. to discuss city quarterly financial report with City Treasurer Stacy Page.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for the study session request for Monday, February the 12th, 2018 at 6:45 to discuss city quarterly finance report with City Treasurer Stacy Page. Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we will have a study session.
6A5 is also a study session, and the DPW Director, Roberto Scapitici, is requesting a study session for Monday, February 12, 2018 at 5:45 p.m., and this is to discuss infrastructure and cross-connection.
So move for the meeting on February 12th at 5:45.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for a study session request for Monday, February 12th, 2018 at 5:45 p.m. to discuss infrastructure and cross-connection with the DPW Director, Roberto Scapitici. Got it. All right, got it. Finally got that name pronounced. All right, on the roll. Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yep.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
And the last item under the clerk's report is also a study session request, and this is coming from the Economic Development and Planning Departments, and this is a request for Monday, February 26, 2018 at 7:00 p.m., and this is to present the City of Romulus Redevelopment Ready Communities, RRC, baseline report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for a study session request for Monday, February 26th at 7 p.m.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for a study session request for Monday, February 26, 2018 at 7 p.m. Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Other than some items for your information, public hearing notice from DTE for February 8th, 2018. Also, we have a public notice from the Great Lakes Water Authority. This is a contract renegotiation process. So other than that, that concludes the clerk's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
6B is the treasurer's report.
Good evening, council, mayor, clerk, deputy clerk, and audience. Tax day is quickly approaching. Taxes are due February 14th. There's lots of payment options out there. If you want to drop it in the drop box, you can mail it, come in person. There's ACH. If you have any questions, please call the treasurer's office. And remember, it's due Wednesday, February 14th. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer.
Number 7 is public comment. Individuals that would like to address City Council under the public comment portion of the agenda must raise their hand, and when recognized by the chair, approach the podium and state your name and address. Remarks shall be limited to 3 minutes, subject to being extended an additional 3 minutes by consent of the chair. There shall be no personal attacks. Remarks shall not contain any profanity, racial, ethnic, religious, sexual, or national origin slurs or overtones. Anyone making such remarks shall lose his or her right to address the City Council. A response, if appropriate, will be provided under Agenda Item Number 8, Unfinished Business, if that information is available at this time. Items that may require further investigations will receive a response at a later date. We do not have any written requests.
Okay. Any comments from the audience? Yes. Great.
Bob McCrate, 9875 Tobian, Romulus, Michigan. Just a quick shout out about the curling tournament we're doing at Marianne Banks Park. We're just looking to have a fun event. So we're going to do a curling event in the middle of February. So we're going to be down there from 12 to 3. But I don't know if you remember Kayla Leonard, that little dynamo we got in this community that's always out trying to do something good. She's doing a program again this year for the FCCLA where she's putting together sunshine boxes for homeless children. So we decided to help her out and have some fun with the curling tournament. So hopefully you come out and enjoy yourself, have a good time with that, but also we're trying to help Kayla out on one of her adventures and take care of the community, and you know how she does. So come on out and help Kayla out and help us.
Good. Thank you, Bob. Yeah, Ms. Lemon.
Evening, Jan Lemon, lifetime resident of Romulus. Tonight there was a closed session, Mr. Barton, and then there was a meeting over the courthouse. And then once again, the Veterans Monument was not mentioned. So those at home who do not know what's going on, the court presented a beautiful rendering of what the new courthouse is going to look like and what the monument is going to look like. When the agendas are printed, Mrs. Bragg, every time I have read it, and I've sat in that chair for 5 years, and every time the courthouse is mentioned, that's all that's mentioned is a courthouse. I didn't know anything about this monument being moved. I was upset because I have 7 bricks up there. But now that it's been explained, now that the view is out there, the people will enjoy the finished product. But we need more information on these sheets and when there's closed meetings held. I mean, you can't just say a meeting was held about the courthouse, because it's not all about just the courthouse. It's about the Veterans Monument also. And I just thank you very much. It's a beautiful presentation, and I can live with what they're doing. Thank you.
Any other comments from the audience? Ms. Williams. I'm looking at Ms. Williams. Ms. Walker.
He did that earlier.
I'm looking at Ms.
Used to
Williams.
me being out there.
Oh, boy.
Aaron Walker, 11088 Gabriel here in Romulus. I just wanted to ask one question about the fire truck that's going to be purchased with Community Development Block Grant funds. One place it said we were purchasing a fire truck. When the motion went, it says the first payment of the fire truck. Okay, so is that going to take the Community Development Block Grant funds until this is paid for?
Well, it's on the unfinished business. We'll address that, Ms. Walker. Any other comments from the audience? No more comments from the audience? We'll close that part out.
8 is unfinished business.
We'll have Kevin Kraus come up and talk about why it said first payment and what our plan is to bring back or revise future CDBGs.
Okay, thank you.
Evening, Council, Mayor, Madam Clerk, Madam Secretary. So we went through a couple different processes to try to capture CDBG funds over the last couple months, working with Wayne County, working with Maria, and unfortunately we were unable to do that. So we had to look at secondary options, and the secondary option was a pre-committal of approximately 5 years of CDBG funds. The purchase of a new fire truck is approximately $530,000, with financing also involved in that. So the allocation of approximately $114,000 a year for the CDBG money will be allocated and then paid annually as those payments come up each year until the fire truck is paid in full.
Thank you. Okay.
Is there any more unfinished business? Number 9 is new business. Number 10 is communication.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Barton?
Yes,
A
Mr. Wadsworth.
couple of weeks ago, I did bring up the monument being moved, but after the meeting tonight, although I wish it wasn't being moved, I am satisfied that Mr. McCray and the committee will definitely take care of it. Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Talley.
Just want to make the final announcement that the community soul food dinner is tomorrow. I would suggest you be there or be square. It starts at, it's at just any community, it's been some kind of different communication going on in different places. It is at the Romulus Senior High School in the cafeteria. It's starting an hour early this year. It's at 5 p.m. Dinner to start promptly at 5. The program will start at 6. Admission is free will accepted, as Dennis pointed out earlier, and hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Talley. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, I just went under communication. I know I did in the study session. I couldn't be at the last meeting. I had a county function, but I wanted to make sure I gave a big thank you to Julie Whitoko, our Chief of Staff, who does an awesome job. She sat in for me, and as always, we're able to keep things moving and doing good work as a team. So thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. Okay.
Okay, if there's no more communication, number 11 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams? Yes. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.